Alright, what's going on everyone, it's Ryan here, and today we're going to be comparing Hide or Die versus Dead by Daylight. And what I'm talking about is the new Hide or Die that came out May 1st of this month, so 14 days ago, and the OG Dead by Daylight. And I think these are the main two right now in this asymmetrical horror kind of genre. So let's get right into it. So we're going to be starting with the gameplay. So starting off with Hide or Die, you walk up to one out of three extractors and you turn it on by using this number pad that you see right in front of you. And now what you do is you just turn it on, and then in order to keep it going, you need to pick up gas cans. Now these gas cans are randomly around the map, so all you do is you find the gas cans, you put the cans in, you add more time, and you stay in this purple kind of radius for some more. Extracted at 2 times the darkness speed, and yeah, so that's all you really do as a survivor. You're just more focusing on hiding from this killer because there's no pallets or anything. You're mainly just hiding, and you just want to focus on hiding, and hide from the killer in any way you can. Whether that's cheeky hiding spots like the one you just saw me jump up to because I thought I heard a heartbeat, or using items like this moleculizer, and we'll get into items in a little bit. But yeah, so the main goal is to just do this, fill up these gas cans, stand in the circle, and just get your darkness to the max to open up the tower. So now, moving on to Dead by Daylight, what you have is a generator here, and so you just walk up to 5 of these on the map and you start repairing them. Now the tricky part is there's a skill check to these, so you always have to be paying attention in Dead by Daylight if you want to do well. Because if you do not pay attention, you will end up paying the ultimate price, because if you don't pay attention, you're going to blow it. And if you blow the skill check, not only does it progress the generator, or it sets it back in progression, but it also alerts the killer on what gen you're doing, so he'll come over there. As you can see, I just blew it. But yeah, so your goal is to repair 5 of these, and then once you're done, after each gen, the killer will see which one's complete, and so will you, because it lights up, like the lights turn on and everything. So that's the main goal if you're playing as a DBD survivor, is to do 5 of these and then open up the exit. So now we're going to be moving on over to the perks and stuff. We're going to be starting with Hide or Die, obviously. So let's start with the Hide or Die. So as the survivors here, you have quite a few things to help you out with. You have perks, augments, and items. Now the items are what helps you. There's flashbangs, there are painkillers to restore health, motion sensors to guard a certain area, first aid kits to heal, smoke grenades that lose people, darkness warps, which are kind of like teleporters to get you out of a close scenario, stun guns to obviously stun, get away for a little bit, adrenaline to restart your stamina, because in Hide or Die, you actually only have a super sprint, because there's no hidables. That super sprint is what you're going to use to break lines of sight. And yeah, so basically in Hide or Die, you have an ASM tree, which gives you certain perks and bonuses based on the perks you pick and how you want to play the game. So that's something different, and I kind of just go for a balance, because you get bonuses if you can balance it. But yeah, and so how you level up in Hide or Die is through the dark path, and you get DP points just by playing. You just go into this web, pick what you want, and then you kind of just do whatever. You pick your perks, you get what you want, and then you can level up, and then just keep leveling. 20's the cap right now. They're thinking about adding a prestige system, but you kind of just keep going. So moving on, there's also a hunter side here, and the hunters each have their own unique perks, because they each have their own unique abilities, obviously like Dead by Daylight. So, but what makes it really more interesting is they have items in this game that can help them. So some killer items are making 4 switches on an extractor, highlighting survivors for 7 seconds, spawning less gas cans, and things like that. So the hunters also have the same progression, but they also have an extra item that can help them out. So yeah, now we're going to go over to obviously DBD, where more people are with. Obviously there's the perks and stuff. As you can see, you have items, but in DBD you only have I think it's 5 core items. You have a medkit, a toolbox, a map, a key, and a flashlight. And those are the main items. They're obviously self-explanatory, but yeah. And then you also have an offering tab, which is similar to the items, so they help you out. But I personally see that the killer items in Hide or Die are more useful than the killer items in DBD. But yeah, you play games in DBD, you earn blood points. You level up with blood webs. Same thing, but just different names, essentially, is what it is. And so what I next want to talk about is what it's like to play each killer, because I showed some survivor footage, but let's talk about the killer. So starting off, if you're playing Hide or Die and you're playing the Hunter, what happens is you kind of spawn in here at this corruption site. It's what it's called. It's this big, kind of weird cave-looking like rocks, something you'd see in like an alien invasion or something, and you just spawn there. And what you do as the killer is there's no scratch marks in this game, so what you're gonna want to do is you want to press F to go into something called your Darkside. Now your Darkside is going to show the survivors in a circle radius, and this circle radius, which you're about to see right now, shows the approximate location. So I see a survivor's nearby, and I'm looking around for him. And so what you're going to notice is different is each survivor in this game has 8 ticks of health. Okay, one melee damage or one hit of a melee will do 4 damage. Your range will do 1 to 3. Now, something you do need to note is if you die in Hide or Die, you're not dead. You can die as many times as you want in a singular game. I do believe the current record of saves is 9 by a single player. So yeah, you can die as many times as you want. Where in DBD, if you're hooked 2 times, you're gone. So yeah, that's something that you need to point, or it would be nice to note out. Yeah, so your melee just does 4, and that's all you really need to know. This Darkside kind of just tells you where the approximate location of these guys are. Now, if you're playing as the killer in Dead by Daylight, it's different because here's what you're going to see. It's a lot different because you have scratch marks and stuff. So you spawn in, and this is just me doing prepping because each killer has abilities. I was playing Hunter as bear traps. So I'm just used to placing some bear traps, and I'm just gonna place some bear traps. And you see all the Hunter in Hide or Die sees all the extractors. The killer in Dead by Daylight sees all of the generators. And so I'm heading over here, and they're hearing my heartbeat. They're getting kind of nervous, and I see that they're on this gen. And boom, they're running. And yeah, I missed the swing because I swung a little too early, but I hit him once. Now he's injured. And boom, I'm going for a final hit. I missed because I'm pretty bad at killer in Dead by Daylight. But yeah, I'm going in. I'm chasing him, and he's okay. He got a little jump there. He's gonna be vaulting into here, and I'm gonna be playing. I see he's already going this way, and then I forced him into the. Oh yeah, because he saw a bear trap. He had nowhere to go, and so boom, I put him on a hook. That's his first hook. They can only have 2 hooks. The third hook is death. Okay, now here's how rescues work, and we're going to be showing you that right now. In Hide or Die, if a survivor is to die, they will spawn in these coffins here, as you can see, and you just hold E to open it, and you guys both are granted invisibility and can continue on your way. But the thing is, in Dead by Daylight, right, because you only have 2 chances, Hide or Die, you just go down until you have 4 ticks, so if you die, you're to the point where you're 1 hit, you're 1 hit. And you just keep rescuing. The more deaths, the longer it takes to rescue. So this was our teammate's first death here. So, yeah, it's pretty obvious. And then if you do DBD in Dead by Daylight, what happens is they're put on the hook, and you're going to watch me get a save right now. Boom, I'm coming in here. I'm grabbing the hook off, and boom. I hook him off. It takes a few seconds, and then we're on our merry way out. So that's how the saves work. Hide or Die has unlimited lives. Dead by Daylight only has 2, so you gotta really wager out if it's safe or not to do different rescues. Okay, so that is the Dead by Daylight. Now let's talk about escape. In Hide or Die, if you are to successfully get 12,500 or 1,250 darkness, an escape hatch will be powered to them. You just walk up to one and you hold E. Killer can see the progression bar right there. And so your goal is to just open the hatch and then just jump through. You need 2 out of 3 for a survivor victory. If you only have one, it's a hunter victory. So yeah, as you can see, you just open this hatch here. Hatch is open, and then boom, you jump in to the hole, and you're all good. Now, in Dead by Daylight, there will be 2 exit doors here, and you see, I didn't open it because I was rescuing someone, but yeah, so the goal is you open that door, you walk out the door, and boom, that is an escape. So, now what I want to talk about is that we got all of the main points out of the way. I want to talk about something, and here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about who really wins this title of asymmetrical horror genre, okay? I think, in my opinion, I think the winner of the asymmetrical horror genre is going to be Dead by Daylight, because I truly feared my life more when I was playing Dead by Daylight, because that heart radius, it's really big, and just the music and the sound effects they put into it is truly horrifying as he comes up on you, because you just hear the dun 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 dun, or depending on the killer, there's different music and whatnot. I truly just felt more terrified to hear a heartbeat in Dead by Daylight than I was in Hide or Die. In Hide or Die, they kind of just show up, and you're like, all right, it's time to super sprint out, or oh, it's this killer. He's not terrifying. Like the first time you go against them, they're terrifying, but every single time you go against a DBD hunter, I think it feels more terrifying. So I think if you really had to give the winner title to the asymmetrical horror, I would definitely give it to Dead by Daylight. I think it's just truly a more horrifying and nerve-wracking game, because these gens take a long time. You need to put in so many variables, like the hunter incoming, listening to that heartbeat. Is it getting closer to me? Is he going somewhere else? Am I going to be able to finish this generator before he shows up? And the extractor, you just turn it on, feel it up, and you're good for the rest of the game. No, you don't need to do anything else. So that's why I think Hide or Die wins the asymmetrical horror genre. Now, we're going to be talking about how each new player, if you pick up the other perspective game, how you can get good at it. So, I haven't played Dead by Daylight in about 9 months before I started playing for this video. And one thing I've really learned is Dead by Daylight, mind tricks are going to be your best friend. Alright, so what I mean by that is, if you're going to the left, he's probably going to follow, but then if you can somehow switch it up, like if you're around a building, you can go, you make it look like you went inside because there's scratch marks. That's how killers find you in this game. You make your scratch marks look like they go inside, but then you go right back outside, and he thinks you're inside, and he checks lockers and stuff, and you're far gone. Or what I like to do is I like to hug surfaces. What I mean is like hugging these rocks and whatnot, so I can hug it. So I hug it. I'm close to the surface. I get to the pallet in time. I throw the pallet on him, and I run away. And I kind of just keep using the surface as my best bud. So that is how I think new Dead by Daylight players should cope with it. And I think you should also definitely start hiding for sure. You're definitely gonna want to hide just a little more, and kind of just be afraid of that heartbeat. If you feel like it's quiet, don't push or stay where you are. But if you feel like it's getting a little louder, start moving away by just walking away, because he's not there yet and he won't see scratch marks. If you panic, he'll see your scratch marks. So if you were going to try out Hide or Die, there's only a few tips I can give you. One, use that super sprint to the best of your advantage. Now, what I mean by this is, use the super sprint is your best friend in Hide or Die. It's gonna make the most gap you could possibly make. So prioritize super sliding, and you can end with the super sprint to go as far as you possibly need to. Start utilizing that. Also, utilize hiding spots. If you're new, take time to try and find these hiding spots, or if you do choose to not find hiding spots, I do have a Hide or Die playlist with all the best hiding spots. There's top 10s, top 5s, top 15s, just to give you a head start on your Hide or Die journey. And one last thing I do want to say is the review bombing, guys, it's not cool. The Dead by Daylight players who aren't used to a different game where they can't just pallet loop are review bombing this game, and it's not a nice thing to do, guys. it's not nice because you've played 2 hours and you're not good at a new game. It's not nice to ruin the devs' chances of a game that they truly put time into. This is a team of 3 we're talking about, guys. Go, if you're bad, just please refund. Don't say anything negative. But yeah, guys, that has been Ryan here. Thank you guys so much for the support. 92% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you can, please do subscribe. Let me know what kind of content you want to see. Also, at the end of this Corona stuff, I'm going to be getting a Blue Yeti, so you'll see a major improvement if you stick around. But yeah, anyway, this has been Ryan here, guys. Hopefully you are taking care. And yeah, peace out, guys. Happy Friday, by the way.